Good evening, all.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Very good evening to one and all.
Good evening, sir.
Hi, very good evening. Yeah. Alright. So what we discussed yesterday, just a recap of all the things, main points. Just a recap so that you get the connectivity. So whatever we discussed, just go through a recap of all the features. So discuss with some basic interface of Excel, rows, column, total number of rows, column, all these things we did. Okay, meanwhile, my voice and my screen is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Fine.
sir.
Okay, okay, thank you. Now, in the beginning, let me request all the team members, please mute yourself. If you have any questions, please put in the chat box or raise your hand, or we will discuss at the end, right? Maybe last 10 or 15 minutes, we will leave that duration for the question and answer session. So please, it's a humble request from my side. Why? Because it create disturbance for all other members, right? So please mute your mic. In between, if you have any question, please put in the chat box. Huh? Fine. Thank you. So number of rows, column. Okay, one more thing. How we know which version is installed in our system, right? So normally in my system is 2019 only. And if you want to check whether you're using 16, 13 or any other version, just directly go to the option file and come to this account section, right? File and this account option. So it will show the option here. It is Microsoft 2019 version. Right, so that's how you can check which version you are dealing with or which version is installed in your system. Fine. And one line definition for Excel is it's mainly used for calculation or data analysis or data visualization. Right. Every software has its own importance. Right. For example, if you want to generate some documentation or report, a text report or document reports, definitely go for Word option. Right. And if it's a presentation, we prefer PowerPoint only. Right. And for calculation and for data analysis and data visualization, Excel is the best tool. Very much easy to handle. So that's why we use Excel as a tool to deal with these type of procedures. Right. And we discussed about how to create a custom list, right? So that means if you have a frequent list to be generated again and again, so instead of typing the value one by one, you can store that customized list in the option file, options, and in this dialog box, that is Excel options, go for the advanced features. Now, once you click this advanced feature, the properties will be different. So that means when you select these properties or these options, corresponding values or the properties will be changed. So you have to click this advanced feature, scroll down, come to the bottom portion of this dialog box and click the option edit custom list, where you can type your requirement or your list can be entered there and click add and close this dialog box. So that's what we have to do, and that list will be used again and again in your Excel sheet. We discussed about this QA toolbar. That means if you're associated with any work, you can use this toolbar so that you can place some frequently used tools in this location. So that's why it's known as QA, quick access toolbar. For that, now suppose you want any tool like to clear all the formats and data, all that. Suppose you want to add this feature there. So just place the mouse over that tool, go for right click option and go for add to quick access toolbar. Fine. Okay. Now the location where all these tools are placed, that container or that location is known as ribbon. Always use technical words, right? For example, go for the option formula. So formula is a menu option and these are the categories or section, function library section or define name category. Use this name specifically so that you can communicate easily, right? For example, when we discuss, okay, go to the data option and go for what if analysis. So come to this option, data tab, and here's the option in the forecast category, what if analysis. So it's better to deal with and better to locate any particular tool, right? And yesterday we discussed about format painter, right? How to copy the format of any particular text. And in that category, we discussed how to copy the data, how to copy the data and the format, and how to copy the comments. Right? I think one of the team member asked what is comment and what is note, right? So the one I will come to that point later. If you're using Office 365, it's an online version or cloud version, right? In that case, we better insert notes. Don't click the option comment. Why? Because comments are mainly used to interact with other team members, right? So that means suppose you have a shared file, you are working in a collaborated format and you have to take feedback from other members. In that case, Office 365, the comment option is mainly used to interact with other persons, right? I will show that interface also, the 365, because we have to discuss one more advanced function in Excel, that is X lookup. It is not there in 2016-19. So I'm planning to discuss that also because it's a very much advanced feature in Excel, but it's exclusive for 365 version only. I will share some basic information for that one also, right? And yeah, so that's what we discussed in the yesterday's session, and how to copy the data, how to copy the format, all these things we discussed using this pop-up option, tab color change, right? So that's what we discussed yesterday. Again, let me continue with again some basics of the Excel. For that, come to the last sheet, EX. Right. Again, it's a simple task only. You have to hide column D, E, and J. So that means at a single time, you can go with single selection or using the control button to go for multiple selection at a time. So that means hide columns D, E, and J. This is what we have to hide. Right. So hiding the data means you don't want to display, you don't want to share these data with your client or with your other team members. Right. So in that scenario, we have to hide those specific data. Right. So a question will be better we delete that thing. Right. But if you delete that particular row and column, definitely your data will be affected. Right. So better hide those rows and columns which are not important, or it's important in the formula, but you don't want to display that. So better go with the option hide. So select D, press the control key, select E, and select J. So that means using the control key, you can select multiple rows and columns. Now in that selected column only, place your mouse anywhere in the selected column, go for right click option and hide. So that's how you can hide rows. On the same, you can perform with columns also. Here it is. All right, so you can hide rows or columns. Now, if you want to hide any particular column, so again, let me select column row number 8 and row number 60. Again, in that selected row, go for the right click option and again go for the option hide in the pop-up menu option. Right. So that's how you can hide your rows or columns. Now, suppose you want to unhide these data, right? So normally what we do is, if you show that, now here it is clearly mentioned that C, D is not here. So either you can select both this C and F, go for right click option and go for unhide. Right, so that's how you can unhide any particular column there. No, if you want, if you're not sure which column is hidden or which means which you want to unhide here, if you're not sure, so you can select the whole data set. The header has to be selected. Go for right click in the header and unhide. So it will unhide all the hidden columns. In the same way, you can try with row options also. So that's how you can hide rows, columns. Fine. So this again a simple topic. Now let me close this file and click don't save. Now in the same session number 1. Okay, now let me share one important question. I think that was a question raised by one of the team member yesterday. Here it is. Can anyone guide me how to complete this one? These are the tasks which you have to complete. any idea how to complete this question?
Okay. Group Atlanta, Naples, and New Orleans
That's
worksheets.
yeah. So that what we
Okay.
discussed yesterday. Yeah, that's it.
So yes, you have
Yeah,
to use the control key with
and select all the sheets.
all the
Right.
three sheets.
Now, so that's what we discussed. Right. It means a question was there. I don't remember the name of that person. Why we using this grouping procedure? Right. So here's the solution for means the application. Right. Now suppose you have 3 different sheets. Now just go to the data set first. So in the Atlanta, it consists of some name, column header, quarter based header information, and the real data. Right. Okay. So the limitation of the process grouping is the layout should be same, the data range should be same. Then only you can apply this grouping procedure, right? So it starts from this specific region from B1 or B4 to E11 only, right? Open the next sheet, Naples, fine. Again, same data set in same rows and columns, right? So that means 3 different sheets are there. Datas are different, but the layout is same only. Now you have to calculate. Now the process is you have to get the total values for all these quarters. That means row wise and column wise. That's what you have to perform here. So what we can do in a single step, you can complete all this process. How? Press the control key, select all the sheets. Here it is. Now all the sheets are grouped now. Now just apply the formula that is equal to sum of all these values. Close the parentheses and enter. Right. Just do the normal calculation on it. Here it is. So it will generate the values. Now again for row based information equal to sum of all the values in that particular row. Close the parentheses and press enter. Select the cell, use autofill and drag. Fine. So all the values are generated here. Now let me add a label here. That is what to get the information that these columns or these rows are defined for total values. That's all. Now let me select the sheet once again. Go for right click in the sheet tab itself, and this time click the option ungroup. That's all. Now all the sheets are ungrouped now. Now try to open one by one the sheets. Atlanta, total value for all that rows and column is there. Yes. Naples, yeah, here it is. And for New Orleans. Right, so that means you have to type the formula once and it will be effective for all the sheets. So that's the advantage of grouping procedure, grouping the sheets. But the disadvantage or the limitation is the data set should be the same layout. Right. Suppose this data is defined in from K1 to K52. In that case, this process is not defined or not, it cannot be executed in that data set. Right. So if you have same data set, you can use this type of grouping procedure. Right. Okay. Now let me share some more information here. In yesterday's session, we are dealing about session number 1. Right. So apart from this training files or this workshop files, there are some case files and task folder. Right. So these files are exclusive for you. Right. So take at least 10 or 15 minutes once the session gets over, and just try to complete these case files. Case files means the topics which we handled in the session, the questions or the tasks will be associated with these case files only. Right. So try to complete. It's a simple task only. What we discussed, the basics only. So it will give some more, just like some homework on, right? So that you get some data. And here is what you have to do. Everything will be defined in the task sheet. Read that instruction and execute one by one in the respective sheets. Fine. And last, it's not important. That means you don't have to save any data. It's just for your information only. Just try to execute these files. Fine. Okay. So case 1, case 2, and some task folders are there. Task 5. Sorry. Here it is. In the task 1, here it is. 5 or 6 files are there. Right. So just try to complete these files. Some extra advanced question will be there. 1 or 2 advanced questions are there. try to complete that one. If there is any issues, please mark that question. In the next session, we will discuss that one, and we will explain all the procedure. Fine. So these case files are there for all the session folders, session 1, session 2, whatever the folders, session folders will be shared. These case files and task folders will be there. Right. Okay. Now let me open the last file, formatting. And
Hello, sir.
first sheet is worksheet. Now again, some simple task, how to remove grid lines, formula bar, and headings from this sheet. Right. So that means you have to remove this grid lines, formula bar, and headings. Headings means this A, B, C, D, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. These are known as headers. Column headers are defined as what? A, B, C, D. They are alphabetical order only, and row headers will be defined in numerical format. So you have to remove all these properties, all these features from this Excel sheet. So directly come to the option view. And in the show category, we have 3 check options. Here it is: formula bar, headings, and grid lines. Now all that features are not active in your Excel sheet. Right, so that's how you can remove and you can reactive all these features. All these features are defined in the view tab only. Again, click formula bar, headings, and grid lines. Fine. So that's the first question. Second one, insert a background image. Fine. So that means you want some special feature, special image as your background of your data. So all these features, the inserting a background, are defined in the page layout option only. So click this option, page layout, and in this page setup category, come to the option background feature. Right. So you can add some background image for your data. So select that one, provided your system hard disk should have some image, then only you can insert that one. So let me select, fine, any of the image here and click insert. All right, so according to the canvas size or the image size, it will be inserted as a background image only. Fine. And if you want to delete this background image, here's the option. Right, you just click that one and the background image get deleted. Fine. Now the third question is that only you have to delete the image and change the background color to blue. So that means you have to change this background color of this data. So select anywhere in the data set and press Ctrl A. So using the key Ctrl A single time, it will select all the range where the data are defined. No, if your requirement is to apply the background for the whole data set, that means whole 10 lakh rows and 16,000 columns, you have to press Ctrl A twice. Right? Okay, now this time let me select Ctrl A single time only. Come to the option home, and in the font category, you can use this fill option to apply some colors as a background color for that. Right? Or you can apply some solid colors or some standard colors using this color palette. Fine. Now, if you want to remove the color, again, same procedure, Control A, drop down in the home tab, and this time no fill. Fine. So that's how you can complete these 3 basic questions, basic tasks. And the fourth one, I'm not going to explain that one. I think we already discussed that one yesterday. How to change the tab color. Tab color means these are known as sheet tab. So you have to change the color for these sheet tabs. Select any color. It's not mandatory that you go with yellow only. Just explore some color features there. Go for right click, and here's the option tab color. Just go with these color features. Right. In examination, be specific about the color. Right? Practice, no issues. You can select anyone, but for examination, if they're asking for this type of color, for example, it is orange accent 6 lighter 40%, means be specific about that color. Fine. So select that one. No, if they are, if even for practice, you can select anyone. It's not that important here. It's select that color and that sheet tab will be changed. Fine. So all these 4 questions are clear.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Again, it's all our basics only. Now let me go for the next sheet, that is number format. Fine. Now number formatting. Right. So now before this particular topic, let me give some basic information about data type. Data type. Now, if you want to understand the word meaning data type, just reverse the process or reverse the word. Type of data, right? So that means which type of data you're dealing with, that is known as data type. In programming language or in Excel, we use this word to understand, okay, we are dealing with some point values or some text values, some integer values, right? Or some date and time values, right? To know how many types of data types are there in Excel, the best way is come to this home tab. In this number category, use this drop down. Here it is. And these are the data types defined in Excel. That means general means it's a simple data, means no specific data there. Number format, currency, accounting, date and time, percentage, right? So they're the list of data types defined in Excel. Right. So data type means the type of data which you're dealing with. Fine. Now, first question is, or first task is how to change the column I to currency model. Fine. Now your client is, suppose he hail from Australia, Canada, and any geographical region, right? So definitely, if you're dealing with their data, you have to use their currency only, right? Now, suppose my client is from US, and I want that column I, that means the currency or the unit price should be defined in a currency format only, and definitely currency means dollar only, US dollar only. So select that particular column. Now, if you want to apply, now the question is change the column I. So that means up to that 10 lakh rows, all the column or all the cell has to be affected here. So instead of selecting this cells one by one, directly click the header, that is column I. So it will select up to the 10 lakh row in your Excel sheet and use this drop down. And the question is currency model only. So that means you have to apply this data type currency. Fine. So once you click the currency option, it's showing in rupee format only. Okay. Now my client is from UK, so definitely I have to change that one. For that, now if you want to explore this dollar symbol or the currency option in the same category, come to this option, that is accounting number format. Use this drop down. Fine. Here it is. Right. Some predefined values will be there. Euro, pound, United dollar. Right. Some values are there. Now, still you want to explore. Suppose you want to add some bitcoins or any other special coin features here. Come to this option, more accounting format. So once you click that option, a dialog box will be defined for you where in the symbol option, use this drop down and it will show all the currency format in your drop down list. Here it is. For Russian ruble, for Chinese yen, whatever values you want to check, you can check with these values. So options will be there. You can check, and I think Bitcoin is also there. Let me check. I think, yeah, it's there. Fine. Just explore these drop down features and almost all values will be there. Fine. Now suppose your requirement is okay, United Kingdom only. Fine. So that pound symbol get inserted there and click OK. Fine. So that's how you can change the format of your data. Now formatting means how you want to show the data to the outside world or to the client or the user. That's known as formatting. Right. Here it is. So that's how the values will be defined. Now just go to the formula bar. It's showing 10.2 only. So that means the value is not changing here. The format is changed or the new format has been applied here. Fine. So that's why it is known as number formatting. Right. So formatting means display the value in such a way so that the user or the other person can easily understand what type of value is there. Fine. Here it is. Now the next is fine. In that case, try to complete from second to 5. Next 4 questions exclusive for you, and take only maximum 30 or 40 seconds. Huh?
Sir, I have already done like these questions.
Fine. Okay. Okay. If you completed, fine.
Yes, sir. Sir, I have a question, sir.
Please, please. Yeah.
Yesterday you taught about the numbers. If you want to write 1 or 2 and you drag down, so that will come in series, right?
Yeah.
I tried that thing, but I was not succeed on that. Will you please guide me how we can do that?
Fine. So the question is,
That's like, yes,
Huh.
exactly.
That means you have to generate that series of values, right? From 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 25
Exactly,
or 50.
sir.
What?
Exactly.
Right. Okay. Fine. So here's the process for you. Just enter the first value. That means you have to tell Excel what you have to do, right? So
Right.
first, just a minute. Let me select a cell value or open the sheet. Here it is. Select the value 1 and press enter. Fine. So that means Excel is clear about the initial value. Now you have to tell the Excel what should be the step value. That means the next value. So you define 2 there. Now you have to select both these values. Fine. Now just in that selection, go to the right bottom corner. A small autofill option will be there. A small box will be there. That box is known as autofill handle. Right. Just place the mouse over there. Now selection and dragging are 2 different processes, right? While selecting the data, the icon, the mouse pointer will be outline plus only. Just notice that mouse pointer, it's shown as outline plus. Fine. Now when you want to drag the value, just place the mouse over that autofill. Now the icon will be changed as dark plus. Fine. So that means now your mouse and you are ready to drag the value. Just press the mouse pointer left click, or your mouse, or if you're using a laptop, just press the left click and drag the mouse. That's all. So it will generate the series for you.
So can you explain how we can do without using mouse?
For that, you can use this fill drop down feature. Here it is. Fine. Enter 1 and 2. Select. Here it is, right? So select the region where you want to fill the data. In the home tab, come to this editing section, use this fill drop down and go for the option series. You want to fill the series only. Here it is. Right. Now you can define the values here. Step value is 1. So that means it will go with 1, 2, 3, 4 only. No, if you want to change the values to maybe even numbers or odd numbers, you can accordingly change the values here. And click OK. So it will generate the values for you. Fine.
Done, sir. Thank you.
Oh, fine.
Sir, can you please explain the remaining points in that dialog box? What all are there?
In the fill option only?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sure. We'll come to that point. We have some other features, this drop down, this flash fill. Definitely we'll come to that point in the upcoming sessions. Sure. Fine. So whether these 5 questions are over? Any question
Yes.
from any of the team member?
So questions are over.
Over. Fine. Okay. Again, some simple questions, right? Okay. Fine. Now please open the sheet. Okay. If any member have any question from this set, please let me know. I will explain that process for you if you have any question. Otherwise, we'll go for the next sheet only. Fine. Yeah. Question number 5. Copy format of H3 to I-19, I-11, I-14 and I-18. Right. So here's the process for you. So that means you have to copy the format only. We don't require the data. Whatever formats are applied in the cell H3, right? So select the cell H3. So the formats are the yellow color, the size, the bold option, right? So all these formattings were applied for that particular cell. Now the same cell, the same format has to be affected with or applied for I9, I11, I14, and I18, right? Fine. So select the cell, come to this format painter, right? If I go for single click only, fine. So the format get copied here, right? Now you have to go for the cell I9. So select the cell I9 here. Here it is. Right. So that means that format will be copied. The data will be the same. Means it will not affect your data. But again, we have to go for format painter. So what we can do, select the cell and go for format painter twice. Click there twice. Now select the cell I11, I14, and I14, yeah, I19, whatever, fine. Select all that values, fine. Now we don't require this formatting process further in this Excel sheet. So you can press the escape button or click this format painter once again. That's all. Now that icon, that brush option will be deactivated. So that's how you can apply the format for different cells.
So I want to ask one thing. My Excel is 2016. Okay.
Fine.
So
okay.
as soon as I double click this format painter,
Huh.
it won't work. It's a dialog box appeared that no means it won't work in multiple selections actually.
For 2016, I think it will work. Maybe some basic configuration. What the error message you got when you go for double click there?
This
And it is
action,
working for me, sir. I have a 2016 version. It is working for me. Maybe
For
some
me,
of the issue is there.
I have 2000.
this action won't work on multiple selections.
Okay, maybe it options are there. Either what we have to do is now maybe some basic configuration will be changed in your system. So we have to explore that one. So what we can do is come to this option file, options. Now, as I told that these are the basic features, right? In the advanced tab, we have maybe any of the tick option will be deactivated there. Maybe that is the option. It will not work in your system. So we have to explore the feature. So once that option is activated, I can that double click option will be there in your system. So we have to explore that one. Let me check in between. If you are getting some option, I will help you. Fine.
I think he selected two cells and then clicked format painter. That's why it's showing.
So whether you selected a single cell or double cell?
I think I have selected 1 minute by wait a second, I will try one more time.
Just please make it twice. Yeah. Fine. Now the next sheet
I got it.
Yeah, fine. Okay. Fine. Now the next sheet is date and time. Now the requirement is you have to insert the system date and the system time in your Excel sheet. How to insert a system date and system time in your Excel interface. I'm going with the static process only. Dynamic process, that's using some functions, date and time function that is equal to time or equal to now or today. I'm not going to discuss that one right now. Just some shortcut methods, static methods to insert the system date and time. So just press Control plus semicolon and press Enter. Control.
Sir, sir, the audio is not clear, sir. There are so many break in the audio.
Okay, just a minute. Whether the same issues with all other team members?
No, it's fine.
No, sir, it is audible for me.
Yeah, for me also it is.
Audio is clear, sir.
Audio is clear.
Maybe, ma'am, because of the regional issues, ma'am, I'm not sure. Fine. So here's the option, right? So Control plus semicolon, Control plus Shift plus semicolon. Just try these two shortcut methods in your Excel sheet. So select any cell, Control semicolon. and press enter. Fine. So that means right now it will insert the system date in your Excel sheet. But again, as I told that it's a static process only. It will not change according to the calendar, right? So it's a static process only. Now, one more time, Control Shift semicolon. So it will insert the time, system time in your Excel sheet. Fine. So Control semicolon and Control Shift semicolon to insert date and time. Again, all these values are static on. Now, suppose you're not comfortable or you have to deal with some other formats of data, or means the data and type, right? Suppose you're dealing with some US based file or UK based, right? So definitely the format will be different, right? So select that cell where the data is inserted. Now, either you can select go for right click option in that cell and go for format cells. Either you can select this option or the shortcut method is Control-1. So here's the dialog box for format cells. Right. Now we are dealing with the data type date. So according to the data type, some different formats are defined in this drop down. Select anyone which you are comfortable with or your client is comfortable with and click the option OK. So according to that format, the date can be changed. Same for this time, I want AM or PM, right? So again, press Control-1. It is AM, PM. With if you want to insert the second value, you can select that value here.
So during examination, do this Control-1 will work or
yeah, shortcuts will be working there, right? Control-C,
But
Control-V,
you mentioned-
everything will be working. But I recommend that avoid shortcut methods. Why? Because now there is a reason for that one. Why? Because your Excel sheet is macros enabled, right? So some of the shortcut macros means it's a recording process only, right? So whatever you perform in your Excel sheet, it gets recorded, and whatever your recording is there, it will check with the main data set or the Microsoft examination file. So if all these features, so that's how it's calculated, right? So if some of the shortcuts won't get defined there, so that's why it's recommended that avoid shortcuts and use the full procedure. I will explicitly define which shortcuts you have to avoid in the examination. But Control-C chalta hai, Control-V is okay. It's a normal process only. Fine. So clear how to insert system date and time and how to change the format of your data.
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Sir, can you explain the time again? How to
insert the time?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay. Now select any cell where you want to insert the time. The shortcut is Control plus Shift plus semicolon. So simultaneously plus Control Shift and semicolon. So the time get inserted there. Fine. Now you have to change the format of this time. So again, go for Control-1. It is right. Now we have to learn a lot from this option. Custom option is a big topic. I will share some basic information when the session is going on. I will share some more important process to customize or format your data. So select from that custom option, you have to select a particular value, how you want to display your data. Fine. So hour, minute, and second, and definitely AM, PM. According to time, it should be inserted there. So the inserted time get updated with that format only. But again, it's all static only. Right. So dynamic, you can just type equal to NOW. So now is a date and time function which can use for dynamic purpose. So dynamic means equal to now. Let me press the enter key. Fine. So it will define date and time, everything in one cell. And suppose you close this file, save this file and close this file. When you reopen this file tomorrow or any other day, so this date will be updated automatically. Why? Because it's a dynamic. It will connect with this calendar on. but these values won't get updated. Why? Because these are static values only. So that's why we use these type of functions in a Excel, that is equal to now, and one more is there, equal to today. So exclusive date will be there. Fine, we have to discuss all these features will be there in this formulas tab. Here is date and time drop down, and the list of date and time functions will be there.
So can you please explain the dynamic and static again?
Sorry, can't get you. Hello?
Can you please explain the difference between the dynamic and the static?
Static and dynamic means, okay, now these are dynamic functions, right? Equal to now and equal to today. Now suppose I inserted this data, this particular function in my Excel sheet. Now let me save this file, and if I close this file and I'm reopening this file tomorrow, right? So in that case, this date will be updated 9/5/2022. On what time I'm opening this file, this date and the time will be automatically updated there. Right, but these data will not be updated. Why? Because these are just a simple way you insert in a static process only. Fine.
Sure, sir. Got it. Thank you.
Okay, just try it once. Just keep a cell active. Select the function equal to today. Save that file and try to open that file tomorrow, or maybe after 2 or 3 days. That date will be updated automatically. Fine. Okay.
Sir, can I ask?
Please.
Sir, when I do control plus shift plus semicolon, then date will be 5:42 p.m.
Fine.
And when I do is equal to now, then the date will time will 17:42. Why is it? Because of format?
No, but here it is, right? I inserted this time at 5:38.
Okay.
Right, it's 5:38 only, and right now it's 5:42. That means at what time you inserted that time will be there.
No, sir. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये था कि जब मैं कंट्रोल प्लस शिफ्ट प्लस सेमी कॉलम करता हूँ तो 5:30 बजे ऐसा दिखता है 5:38 PM, बट जब मैं इज इक्वल टू नाउ करता हूँ जो डायनामिक का आपने बोला था, तो डेट के साथ वही टाइमिंग, मतलब टाइमिंग का फॉर्मेट सेम आना चाहिए ना, 5:35 आना चाहिए। तो जब मैं वो नाउ वाला करता हूँ तो 17 आता है, मतलब
क्योंकि देखिए आपने जब नाउ यूज किया, नाउ इज अ फंक्शन, राइट, थ्रू विच यू कैन गेट द सिस्टम डेट एंड टाइम. So now is a dynamic function through which you can get the access of your system calendar.
Okay.
Fine. So that's why it's showing the date. Means now means the today's date and time will be accessed from the system that calendar.
Okay. Thank you,
Sir, if you want to change the date format of this dynamic function, in that case we have to change the system date format like that.
No, ma'am. Here it is. Right. Now, suppose you want to change the format, right? So select that cell where the data is inserted. Press Control 1. Here it is. So you can select from these options. Fine.
And
now, suppose,
and one more thing, if the Excel is open, so the time will change or it will be the same as we open the data, that Excel.
Okay, fine. Let me clear that one. Right now, let me save this file. For the time being, let me click this save option. So all the date and time is already inserted there. Let me click this save option. Fine, and let me close this file. Now that is in the same formatting option only. Here it is. Right now here it's 5:38 only. Why? Because I inserted using the shortcut method, and here it's showing 5:44. Here it is. Exactly the time which is there in my clock. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So that's the difference, right? Now suppose it's 5:44 now. Let me close once again this file, and again after 5 or 10 minutes I will open this file. So again at that time, whatever the system date is this, it will be updated here, but this cell won't get updated. Clear?
Yes, sir, clear.
Sir, how to change the format to year, month, and date?
Sorry, sir.
How to change the format to year, month, and date rather than having a date, month, and year?
Date, month, and year. Okay, so
Yes.
select that one. Right, now suppose you want date, month. Again, press Control 1.
Yes.
Come to the option date. It is. So how you want to display the data?
Year 2022-0508, sir.
2022. Okay, year should be defined first, right?
Yes, sir. Followed by month and then date.
Okay, now press Control 1 and come to this custom option. Right, in this custom option, the values, just try with some values here. It will be predefined there. Just check it with that drop down values, or you can change this value here only. It is. It is right. Just type the values y. Right, so it's showing the value 22 there. Right, when I enter 2y there, so it will show 22. Let me put one more y there. Fine. Right. So the values, the year will be defined at the beginning, comma. Right. Now let me go with the option month, M, 05. Now DD. Here it is. Right. So you can type the value YY, MM, and DD. Now click OK. Here it is.
Sir, here 3y. Okay.
So that means here it is. For 3, it will define the whole value 2022, 3, or for 4, it will define the whole year value. For single M, it will show the exact value like 4 or 5 only. If you want 05 format, put double M there. And for the date, again put DD. So it will define the value in that format only. Fine. Just do one thing. Just enter any value. Right. Now suppose it's in a general format only. Now type Y. So it will define. So single Y means the last 2 values will be defined for the year. Fine. Okay. Let me put one more Y there. Here it is. So that 22 will be there. One more value will increase the full year value 2022. Fine. Now let me add one more with no changes there. Fine. Hyphen. Now next is month format. So let me put a single M there. Fine. If you're okay with that M or that 5 value, put a single M, or if you want that 05 format, put double M. And the last is the date format here. And click OK. So that specific format will be applied in your Excel. Fine. Okay, one more. Okay, let me define one more data here. Now, suppose you have 23.45 and right. So we have 2 values here. One is positive value and one is negative value. Now, suppose you want to display this negative value in bracket format, and that's the basic accounting, right? I'm not sure about this. I'm not from a finance background, so but it's there, right? Whenever there's a negative value, always put in parentheses, right? So what we can do here is select the values, press Control 1, come to this custom option, right? Now in this general format, remove the general. Now the data are defined in 4 separate categories. That is general, colon, general, colon, general, colon, general. Right. So that means our data are classified into 4 separate sections. First, general means positive value. Second, after that, a separation will be there. That is a semicolon. After that semicolon, next category is for negative values. Again, a separator, semicolon should be there. After that, third general means it's for 0 values, right? And the fourth one is for text values, right? So I'm not going for that depth information here, right? Now, suppose you want to display the negative value in red color and red color only, fine. So what we can do, first general only, right? General, semicolon. Next is
Sir,
open
kindly
the-
repeat once, sir.
Sure. Okay, here it is. Now we have two values here. First one is just a positive value. Second one is negative value. And my requirement is define the negative value in red color. Fine. So I'm selecting both the values. Press Ctrl 1. So this dialog box will open. It's for format cells only. Directly come to this custom option. So these are predefined values, right? Percentage, date, and time, they are predefined. You cannot make further changes there. But custom means you can change according to your requirement. So select custom. In the type category, just type general here, semicolon. So first general means the positive value. I'm keeping as it is only. Next is, let me open a square bracket and put the value red there. Close the parenthesis. Again, let me put a semicolon there. Fine. Okay. Put two more semicolons and click OK here. Here it is. Right. Now the negative values are being highlighted in red color. Again, if you want to put in a square, in a bracket format, again, select that particular format. In the red, come this bracket option. Here it is. Now the negative values will be highlighted with a bracket option. So that's how in finance or in accounting you use this process, right? Whenever there is some negative values, put in bracket, and is nothing to do with any text color here. It's all on the basis of the formatting of the text. That means how you want to display the value. Here it is. In the formula bar, it will be showing as -56 only, but it will display as 56 as a negative value. So formatting of data means how you want to show the value with other members, or how you want to display that value. Clear? Now suppose you want to put this in green color, this positive values, right? Again, press Ctrl 1. In this general, first general, open the square bracket and type green there and close that square bracket. Fine. And click OK. Here it is. Right, so that's how you can display the value. Okay, this is a green side. Normally we don't go with green color, we highlight with negative values only. So all these processes can be used or applied using the option Ctrl 1 and custom. So these are the type of, maybe just go to this list. It consists of some red and some values there, which shows that these are the predefined values. You can customize these options as per your requirement. Clear?
Sir, we need to give the custom red or green, then the general, isn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Right. So that means how you want to display that value.
Okay, first the color which we want, then semicolon general.
That's it. Yes, sir. So that means first define the red option, how you want to display that one in square bracket only. So these are some syntax which you have to understand. It requires some frequent practice, right? So that means which color you want to define there, that should be defined in square bracket. Next is the value. If you want to put in bracket, put that general in small bracket. So same will be applied for the data. Fine. Now
Sir,
one more thing. Yeah.
Sir, can you explain again? I wanted to have fractions in green and normal figures. Without fraction figures, positive figures in black and negative figures in red. Can you explain this again?
Yeah. So your requirement is normal value should be in black only, fine,
Yeah,
and the negative value should be in red color, fine. That's your requirement, right?
And fraction is in green.
Which value, sir? Fraction value.
Yeah. If any figure is less than 1, then it should be in green.
Fine. So I will do one thing then. For that, let me complete some basic topics again. I will come to this point. For the time being, let me use these two options, right? So first of all, select the value, whatever your requirement, the values are there. Okay, let me select some other values for you. Here 56 and minus 89. Right. Now your
hello, sir.
requirement is this first value should be in black color only, so no need to change anything. But this negative value should be highlighted in red color. Fine. So select both these values or the range of values, whatever values are there, select all the things. Fine. Now let me share one more point here. You selected all these values. Now suppose your requirement is you don't want to display these values to the user. With the user, you don't want to share these values, right? Or you want to hide these values. So again, one more configuration is there, that is plus control 1. Come to this custom option, and in the type, remove all that features and just use 4 semicolons only. 1, 2, 3, 4, and click OK. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3 only. Yeah, just a minute. Yeah, here it is. Only 3 semicolon has to be entered there. Now the values will not be there, it will not be defined, but it's still there, right? It just go to the formula bar, the values will be there, but it's hidden only. For the time being, that values are hidden. And why it's hidden? Because you are not specified any data formatting there. You just put 3 semicolons there, right? So using these 3 semicolons will hide the data. For the time being, the values will be there, but the user cannot view that data in that values in that cell only, right? That's the first point. Okay, now let me delete this one and click OK. Fine, so everything back to normal. Now the negative value should be highlighted here with some red color or with bracket value. Again, press Control 1. Come to this custom option. In the general, now use a square bracket. Okay, first one is blank only, black only, so no need to define anything. That we put semicolon there only. Fine. So I'm not specific about the first part of the format. So let's leave it as it is and put a semicolon. Second one is important here.
What is the role of semicolon? Column means what?
Semicolon means all these values are separated into 4 sections. First one positive, right? So after that positive value, you have to put a separator which shows that the first portion is over. It's a terminator there. After that, the second portion starts. That means how you deal with negative values. So there you have to open that square bracket, specify the color of the data which you want to highlight there. Open the small bracket there now and give the value general. So that means all the values, negative values should be highlighted in red color with a parenthesis. That's
right.
all.
Sir, as you explained, like we have 4 different categories like journal 1, 2, 3, and 4. First for positive, second for negative, third for 0 value, and fourth for text value. Out of these 4 values, wherever you want to change the things, that thing would come in bracket, right? Like if we want to see that second value in red or green, so we have to use bracket. And under that bracket, we have to mention what exactly the color we want to see in that that number, particular number, right?
That's it. That's it. Yeah. That means now here, now just go to the syntax. The requirement is simple. First part, that means positive number, I don't want to deal with or I don't want to highlight. So keep it as it is. Semicolon. So the first part is over. Second part is you have to display the negative values in red color with parentheses. So define that statement, red color in square bracket and the value general in bracket. So whatever values are there, it will come under bracket, parentheses with red color. Third, again, I'm leaving blank as it is. 0, I don't require. Again, let me put a last option, that is 4th value, right? So double quotes, put a semicolon there. And let me go with the option double quotes. It's not updated. Fine. Let me complete this process and click OK now. Fine. Right now, the first part of data is not defined there. Right. So that means nothing configuration, nothing format has been applied in that syntax. So it will not define the value there. Fine. Okay. Second is you want to display that in negative values. Fine. So it will define as bracket and 89. Right. Okay. Now let me put a 0 here. Right. For the timing. Okay. Let me put a 0 here. And press enter. Fine. Right. So that means again for 0 values, no specifications were mentioned there. So that's why it will not reflect. Clear? So that's how this format will work. Now just go to the syntax once again. So the first portion, that is the positive number, is not updated. So it will not make any changes there. Second is more important here, the negative values. Third values is not updated 0. Fine. So that's why that get updated. Text value will not work because nothing is specified there. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Apart from color functionality, what can be used here?
Sorry?
Apart from color, anything else, any other functionality can be used here?
Sir,
Hello? Just a minute.
Apart from color, anything else can be used here? Like this, we are just
yeah, you can use some other options like greater than, less than, right? Just if the values are greater than 50, you have to change the color. That you can apply here. Simple formats can be applied.
only color change can be done over here, no?
Color format means how you want to change. Apart from color change, how you want to display.
Like format painter or anything like that.
No, sir. Means there you can apply some simple formats only. You cannot apply format. Means these are the customized option only. You cannot go for further customization option. You cannot apply for multiple colors there.
Okay.
Right, that color which you want to apply is just specify in this square bracket. Fine. So we'll do one thing. We'll come to this point again. Some more topic has to be shared from this custom option only. So we'll come to that one and share some more features there. Fine.
Sir, I have a small doubt, sir. For this, when you show the number in the red color, it means to be as a negative or this one.
Yeah.
But we can even have the symbol, negative symbol over there, because basically we have written minus 89.
Yeah, but yes, sir. Just go to the formula bar, sir. Here it is. In the formula bar, it will be treated as minus 89 only. Here it is. When I double click that cell value, it will be treated as minus 89 only. But the format of the data is defined in such a way where wherever negative values are there, the user can view as this format only.
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Okay, sir. I have a very specific question. Two questions, very small question. Number one, sir, what is the need of doing all this when I can do it by conditional formatting? And second question is that you are giving the syntax for the second value for keeping it in red and parentheses. So what will happen if the negative number are in a random manner, in a second or in third or in fifth or in ninth position, in whatever position it will be, will it work in same way?
Yes, sir. But now the first question is why we are using this type of format, right? Simple answer. Formatting means how you want to share the data with the user or from the end user or the outer world, right? How you want to display the value. That's the first one. Using conditional formatting means according to condition, you can change the format of the data according to condition only. But here also you're applying the same. I'm not sure that I'm not confirming that it's same as conditional formatting here, but here you're just applying for a specific data, right? How that specific value should be defined. If it's a negative value, if it's a positive value, or if it's a text value or any other 0 values are there, for that specific criteria, the data should be defined in a specific format, right? So that's the basic thing. Second thing is for any region, right? Now suppose you have a set of values. For all these data set, you can apply the same. Wherever there is a negative value, it will be applied with that format only. So it's nothing to do with position.
Okay.
Fine. Now please open the last sheet, that is format text. Now again, some basic questions, some basic tasks for you. 8 questions are there. Just to, right now it's 6:4 by 6:6 or 6:7. Right, 3 minutes is more than enough. Just complete these 8 questions.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hello, I'm audible. Hello.
Hello. Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. One more question. Mahavir Kothari, आप हैं sir वहाँ? Mahavir sir, I just saw that you have raised your hands. Any question from your side, Mahavir Kothari ji?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Sir,
Over.
can I help please? Oh, okay, sir. Done.
Sir, with single function, can we delete comments in one column?
Yes, sir. You can delete all the comments at a single instant. What you have to do is directly come select the column B and go to the option review. And in the review tab, we have a feature that is delete comments. So it will delete all the comments which you selected.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, fine, sir. Yeah.
Over, sir.
Over. Fine. So, other team members, any specific question which has to be defined from my side, if you want me to explain, please let me know.
So fifth question.
Fifth, okay. So changing the cell alignment. Now in this fifth question, there is not specific, right? Whether you have to align with left align, center, or right align. Nothing is specified there, right? So just explore the features here. Now let me enlarge the column B. Now suppose you want to make all this content. Now by default, these are left aligned only, right? Come to this home tab. In this alignment section, we have 6 main features, right? There's a left, click the center alignment and go for the right alignment. So you can align your text on the basis of left, middle, left, center, and right. That's the one category. Second is if your column height is different. Here it is. Now suppose you want to place this content at top, mid, and bottom. For that features, here the special tools for you. Top alignment, mid, and the lower. So these are the alignments which are we have to use so that the data can be specifically aligned in a cell. So here nothing is specified, so you can go with any format. It's okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Fine. Any other questions from this one?
Yeah, six number, please.
Fine. Okay. Insert comment in the cell H14, I14, and J14. Right. So that means a same comment has to be inserted with different cell. Right. Now let me select H40. Now in exam also, instead of using your mouse pointer H14, instead of searching your H14 or that specific cell, the best way is come to this name box. Select that name box and type H14 and press enter. Right. So name box will select that specific cell for you. Fine. Okay, that's the best way to search if you are in the exam procedure, right? It will search the cell or a range of cell easier. Now in this cell, you have to insert "Are you sure" as a comment, right? So go for right click option and click the option insert comment. Fine. So a dialog box or that comment box is defined there. Now type the statement "Are you sure?" Fine. Now this comment has to be copied for multiple cells, right? So that means what we have to do, again, select the cell where you inserted that comment, Control C, copy. So when you use Control C means everything get copied, huh? The data, the format, the comments, the validation, the formula, everything. Now where you want to insert this comment, in the cell I14 and J14, right? So again, you can use this mouse pointer, or you just select this I and J, right? Now in this selected cell, you want to insert the comment. Again, come to this home option, paste drop down, and click paste special. And this time we require comments to be pasted for multiple cells. So activate this comment option and click OK. Here it is. For all the cells, that comment will be copied. Fine. Is it okay, or should I repeat?
Sir, can we know?
Sir, please repeat it.
Sure, sure. Yeah.
Sir,
Please, sir.
we cannot enter the comment simultaneously in three cells.
No, sir. No, sir. So that's the limitation here, right? It means you cannot go for multiple. Suppose let me do it for you. Huh? Let me select all this option. Let me click the option review. This time I'm using the option new comment. Right. So it will select only one cell and insert a comment or define the comment box for me. So that means you cannot select a range of cell and give a common comment. Why? Because it's it's not clearly mentioned that it can be a different comment to be defined in a different cell. So that's why when you select a range of cell and click comment, so definitely it will go for the first selected cell only. Right. Okay. Now here the comment is defined in this cell. Now the process is use Control C. Copy that comment. Now suppose your requirement is this specific range. So select the range where you want to insert that comment. Come to the option home, paste special drop down, and click the option paste special. Now the requirement is clear. The comment has to be inserted for these data set or these selected cells. So activate the radio button comments here and click OK. Here it is. For all the cells, that comment will be common now. Now, again, if you want to remove this comment, again, no need to select one by one. Directly select the range, come to this review option and go for delete. So it will delete all the comments in that selected range. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir, I didn't get second question, sir.
Fine. Change with font. Okay, font face means the font which is installed, means you directly come to this font drop down. Right, they're asking for Arial black. Here it is, Arial black. So what we have to do, select row number 1. So select row number 1, and this row has to be applied with Arial black. So use this drop down and select Arial black. That's all. Fine.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So that's
Sir.
about some. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, question number 4, sir.
So change the background. Okay. Change the background color.
Yes.
Of row number 1. So again, you have to select row number 1. Right. Now the color has to be applied. So that means come to the option again, home. In the font category, use this drop down and go with the option yellow color.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Fine. Yeah, ma'am. Thank you. Yeah.
Sir, one request. Can you please go to the? Can you please repeat the same exercise regarding the date customization, regarding the negative and a positive value, where you enter the codes by entering Control+1, customize.
Sure, sir. So I'll do one thing, sir. Today, let me complete this session, and maybe next week I will plan a special session for you. Special session, maybe 10 or 15 minutes exclusive for this data formatting. Right, sir?
Okay.
Fine. Yeah.
Sir, one question. So regarding this changing the cell alignment. So actually my PC was turned off due to overheated. So I'm not able to do this. So can you please explain this?
Sure. Cell alignment, right, sir?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. Just cell alignment, right? So let me open a blank sheet now. Cell alignment means by default. Now, Have you ever tried this one? I don't know. Just check it, but in your Excel sheet, right? Select the cell and type any numeric value, 45, and press enter. Fine. And in the next cell, press enter any text value and press enter. Right. Now just go to the alignment of these data which are entered in that cell. If it's a text value, the alignment should be left only. By default, it will be aligned in the left-hand side of the cell. And if it's a numeric value, it should be aligned to the right-hand side. So that is the basic settings of a Excel alignment. Now, your requirement is, no, I want Excel to be right aligned. So that means the cell content should be placed to the right-hand side of the cell. So select that cell, come to this home tab, and here are the three options for you. Left is the default alignment only. Center means if you want to make that content to the center portion of that cell. And right-hand side means the content will be placed to the right side of that cell.
Okay.
So that is cell alignment.
Okay,
right?
okay, got it.
Right. In the same way, now suppose 45. I don't want left and right. I want that value to be placed to the middle of the cell. So you can go with the option center.
Okay, got it, sir. Thank you.
Fine. Yeah. And let me explain one more thing. Now, suppose your height is different, right? Now you are dealing with some header and you want this 45 to be placed to the center. So you can use these options to place the content to the top, mid, and the lower or the bottom portion. So that's how alignments are defined. Fine.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's okay. Sir. Now let me.
Hi, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello. Yeah. Sir, can you please help me to know this shortcut key for paste special?
Shortcut key for paste special.
Yeah.
H E.
Means for which
It's
shortcut?
Alt HSV.
Here it is.
Control Alt
Just
V.
do one thing, man. Just select that content. Here it is, man. Just place the mouse over there. It will show the shortcuts there only, man.
ESV. Alt ESV.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you.
Fine. Yeah. Now, let me enter to some advanced features in Excel now. So please, I request all the members, please open session number 2 now. Session number 2, first file, table. So here's the data, right? The first sheet, format table. Just go through the data. It consists of some headers, some values, right? Some random. These are some random values only, right? Now, my requirement is, or the client requirement is, calculate the GST for these values, right? Okay. Now, so GST means, and you have to add a new column there, fine? And the formula will go like equal to. Don't give importance to formula here. Give importance to the process, right? How the value, the new column get updated here. So let me select that value I2.
I2 into K J.
Yeah, that's it. Equal
I2 into J.
I2 into
J.
I2 into the value second, right? And multiply this value by maybe 18%, right? So into.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we didn't get the session 2 files.
Yes, sir.
There are no session 2 files, sir.
Only we received session 1 files only.
Yeah, yesterday only we received files, but today we have not received any files.
But I shared all the files yesterday.
Yes,
Only.
not
Just a minute.
received.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
We have not received any files, sir.
Just a minute. Huh?
Yeah. Same for me. I haven't received such related file for
They have sent only session 1 file actually.
Class files are received, so class 2 files not received.
No one has received it, sir.
Just a minute, just a
Even only they have sent the case 1 and 2, not 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Okay. So I think I forgot. I will do one thing. Let me explain this file, this session, and meanwhile, next I'll ask the coordinator to share this file once again. Session number 2 is more means from this point we are going with some advanced feature. So एक बार मैं उनको request करता हूँ कि मैं file अब आज भेज.
Also, some missing files in session number 1. It was some of the cases were missing in session 1.
So if possible, they can forward all the files in single mail.
That one. So let's explain this topic. Just the content. It means I shared this file with 2 separate dates for 7th and 8th only in a single mail. It's also a separate mail. Maybe you will be receiving that mail in a single. I'm not sure, but I shared the data with those 2 specific dates.
Yesterday we got, but today we didn't get any mail or any files from ICMA.
Can you just check yesterday's date only whether they have attached all the files there, whether the table features?
No, sir. Only
Session number 1. Okay, fine. So, so today's session, let's continue as it is. I will request the member to share the files once again, and in the next session we'll deal with this data once again, right?
Okay, sir.
Now let me explain what is a table and what is a data set. Right now I applied a formula here, and the formula is simple: unit price into quantity into 18% GST. Fine. Now suppose I'm dealing with 35,000 data. Right now what we have to do: apply this formula, use this autofill, and go for double click or drag this formula. If I go for double click here, fine, it will generate all the values. Right, but again, it's a manual process only, right? That means I have to type the formula. Fine, that's okay. But again, we have to drag the formula for all the respective cells. This process can be avoided? Let Excel calculate all the values. Let me enter the formula, and Excel will calculate all the values in the respective cell. Whether it's possible? Yes. That's the first point. Second point is your data is more organized, more easy to handle when it's converted into table. So that means right now we are dealing with some data set only. So data set and table, these are the 2 main points how you can organize your data, how you can set the data, right? So by default, when you open an Excel sheet, type some data, all these values are defined as data set. The data which is there in my screen right now, which I'm sharing right now, these are known as data set. Fine. But table is an advanced feature in Excel where you can handle the data more easily, apply the formula more easily, and some more advanced features are there in table. And that's a question which was asked in interview. And normally interview question like, in exam, definitely they will ask how to convert this data set to table, but in interviews also you have to face this question. And the question will be, can you name any 2 tools in Excel through which you can analyze the data, or data analytic tools in Excel? Any 2. So definitely the first should be table only, right? And why that statement, and let me explain that statement, why it's used as a data analytic tool. I will show that one in the just a few minutes from now. And the second option is conditional formatting. Again, you can analyze the data according to some formulas and functions, right, using conditional formatting. So these are the 2 main tools through which you can analyze your data, or data analytic tool. Right, now let me come to this table feature, and let me explain some more options in table. Now first is how to convert your data set into table. So as I told, that table is more advanced feature, more easy to handle your data, apply the formula, and some more data visualization options are there. Now how to convert your data set into table? It's a simple process only. Just select anywhere in your data set, anywhere. No need to select the whole data, anywhere in your data set. Fine. Come to the option insert, and in this insert option come to this tables category, click the option table, right? And here's the option, that is shortcut Control T. Again, let me highlight here, in examination, please don't use Control T. But if you're using a standalone system, then okay, Control T will be okay. It will execute and it will convert your data set to table. But in examination process, I recommend please use the option insert and click the option table. Fine. Now a dialog box will be appeared, and this dialog box is about the confirmation process. So Excel wants a confirmation from the user whether you want to convert this data set into table. Yes, I want to convert, but before the conversion, please make the first row as header. So you have to activate this check option, right? Otherwise the first row will be treated as data, and I don't require that one. First row is a data header only, it's not a data, it's a part of the data. So activate that check option, and it's important, and click the option OK. Here it is, right? So that means all your data set is converted into table now. And how you recognize or how you evaluate whether it's a data set or it's a table, the simple format or the simple way is select anywhere in that region now, and if the data tool is activated here, so that means you're dealing with table now. And these are some advanced features in table. The ribbon which are activated right now, the properties which are activated right now comes under table property only, right? So that means you're dealing with a table property, an advanced feature in Excel. Now let me show some other features in table property. Now you want to display or you want to apply some special template for this data set or for this table. So here's the option table style. Use this drop down and you will get some built-in templates how you want to give a special color effect for your table. Normally we use light and medium only, right? So that it gives a soft color option only. But it's not recommended. Go with this. You can try with this dark color also, but if we don't use in official format, some strong colors you can apply in your table. But light color and medium colors are okay. So you can apply these options, and according to this template, the data or the table get changed. Here it is. Right. Now in examination, the question will be like this one: convert your data set to table and apply medium to, or here it is, blue table style medium to, right? So this type of template will be asked to apply in your Excel sheet. Right. Once again, now all this data is converted into table now. Fine. Okay, now your requirement is no, I don't want this table property. I want the original data set. That means convert this table into simple data set only. So the process is we have to go in the reverse direction. So come to this design option, and in this tools section, we have a feature that is convert to range. That means you are going to convert this table into simple data set. So you have to click this option. Again, it will ask for a confirmation. Click yes. That's all. Now select anywhere in this cell. The table options will not be further activated in this dialog. So that means now you're dealing with simple data set only. Fine. Once again, how to convert this data set to table? Simple process. Select anywhere in the data set, insert, and click the option table. So whether you want to convert this data set into table, yes, make sure the first row is a header and click OK. That's all. Right. Now we converted our data set into table. Now let me apply this column, that is a GST column, right? So let me put a new column there, GST, and press enter. Fine. So once you enter a new column, hello?
Sir, one question.
All the features get up.
Sir, after converting to normal, from table format to normal range, the colors haven't changed.
Okay.
How to get the normalcy? The colors should also go off, right?
Sure. No. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Now suppose when you convert the table to data set, whatever table features are there, the color, it will be there as it is. Now still, if you want to come to the normal color only, so what you can do is, here it is. So first of all, let me click this design option, convert to range, and click yes. Right, and the question raised by the team member is the color is not yet changed. It's as it is as you applied for the table. Right. So why? Because it's the property of Excel only. Now, if you still want to get the original data set, Control A, select all this data. In the Home tab, in the Editing section, use this clear drop down and clear Formats only. Just click this one, and your formats, the color which you applied for that data set will be removed. Only the data will be there. Fine.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Now, again, let me put shortcut method, Control T, and click OK now. Fine. Now, again, the data set is converted into table. Now, let me add a new column here, GST column. Fine. And the formula is again simple. Now, this time, please go through the formula which I'm inserting here. If you notice anything special, please highlight that thing. Huh? Start with equal to. Let me select this quantity. Fine. This time, it's not highlighting the cell. It's highlighting the header. Right. So that's the important point which you have to notice. When you deal with table, the cell value is not important there. It gives importance to the column header only. Quantity multiplied by unit price. Right? Let me use that parentheses here, and into 18% GST. Right? And let me press this enter key. Just notice what changes occurred in that column now. Here it is. Right. So that means I don't have to drag the formula now. Once it's converted into table, all the formulas will be automatically updated in all the respective cells. So that's why we use table, and it's the right way to convert your data set to table so that you can apply the formula in an easier manner, and you can handle your data in a more simple manner. Clear? Should I repeat?
Yes, sir.
Clear. Okay.
Sir, in case of any percentage change is there.
In that case, definitely now. If you want to change now, if you apply the formula, it will be applicable for all the K column, right? If you have any specific requirement, you have to change accordingly.
Sir, see, normally if it is for GST and you have different percentages for different material,
yeah.
So then how do we calculate? If we use the same 1% for all this, then it would be a mistake for us.
Definitely, means as I told them, this is the formula. I just try to explain how you use table. Definitely, if you have different values, in that case, definitely you have to apply different formulas for that one.
Because normally you know that 18% is there,
yeah, definitely
28% is there.
Yeah, why? Because
5%.
Yeah, I got it. Why? Because if you're dealing with table, it's easy to handle the formula and the data, right? But if you have specific requirement for that, for special commodity, it will be 28%, right? So in that case, definitely you have to alter that formula.
Sir, whether we can alter the formula only in that specific row, or we have to remove the table option, then only we can do.
No, sir. Here it is. Okay, let me complete this one. Right. Now, suppose you want to add for this value, it's for this particular 8th row, I want to include 18% or 5% GST, right? So yes, you have to just come to that point and just press that one. It will change all the values. It is right. So it will change all the values in that formula. So that's the another option if you're dealing with table.
So if I have more line items, then I have to do it manually one by one.
So in that case, it's better go with some data set only. Table means if you have some same formula to be applied, then only go with this table procedure.
So in case different GST rates are applicable for different products, when the table is not applicable.
Why? Because now applied for same type of formula and same type of function. In that case, table will be the best way to deal with.
Is there any way of data grouping? Like we can group the data according to GST percentage, like 18%, 28%.
Excuse me, sir.
Sorry, hello.
Excuse me, sir.
Huh?
If we insert a column for GST rate and then we prepare this formula, then you can handle this issue.
Huh. Yeah, means again for that you have to generate for 18%, for 25%, right? That's what you're specifying.
Yeah.
But
After
again,
that column of H.
Now, for example, now suppose it's 18% for this particular column, right? Okay, just a minute. 18%, right? And let me put column here. Now here you have to calculate 28%. And this is what you're specifying, right? Now again, but when you apply the formula in this cell, it will be for the whole data set. Whatever columns are there, that formula will be applicable with this 18% only. So you cannot differentiate that.
Sir, I have a suggestion. I don't know whether it will work or not in a table format, but if I make a single column for percentage, not for a 18% or 21, 28%, nothing like that. One column specifically
column,
for
you have to
percentage.
mention one percentage column.
One percentage column, and in another part of the sheet or in some different sheet, I make a data file that will give a total that will list out all the percentage along with the product name. So suppose for chocolate you have 20% percentage of GST, and for some allies model you have 10% of GST. So in such a situation, I can use VLOOKUP in that cell, and whenever I write down the name of the product, and accordingly it will take the value from that particular data set, and it will automatically calculate the GST.
Yeah, definitely. Using VLOOKUP and lookup function, you can differentiate these values. But my main motive here is how to use the table feature.
So, sir, I would say that I should just include one column called GST rates. Okay.
Before the GST value.
GST rates, and each of the product name I will specify the percentage and all that. GST rates percentage, and after that I can calculate the amount of GST by multiplying all these three columns.
But sir, whether it's practical, why? Because you have to deal with a lot of commodity values, right? So whether it's possible that for each value you have to, according to the product, you have to go with that that value.
Is there any way of data grouping? We have to create different sheets for different product.
That's it. Yeah, that we can do, right? But now let me explain. My main motive is how to convert the data set to table. Just a minute, give me some more extra time so that I can explain this data in another way, right? Just a minute. So that's how you can convert the data set into table. Fine. Okay, just a minute. Let me open the second sheet now. Customer. Now, the advantages of table. Definitely there are some drawbacks for table. Why? Because you cannot use subtotals there, and some formulas it's applicable for all the column, right? So there are some limitation, but you can easily handle your data, and you can easily analyze your data. Let me show these two sheets for you. Now in the second sheet, now this other question. Now this question was asked in 2016 certification. Another question again asked in 2016 Excel certificate. How will you complete this one? Here it is. The question is there on the screen. Just try to execute. Just guide me how to complete that one. On the customer worksheet, format the table so that every other row is shaded. Use a technique that automatically update the formatting if you insert a new row. So that means you have to make this Excel sheet more easily readable. For that, you have to make all the alternate rows shaded. Now, if you're not dealing with table, it's a lengthy process.
So by using the design, I think design.
That's it. So come to this. So that means first of all, ensure that this is a table or data set. So select any cell. So the table properties are activated here. Fine. So that means we are dealing with table only. Come to this design option. And in this table style options, we have a feature that is banded rows. Just click that one, that row, that check has to be activated there. That's all. Here it is. all your alternate rows get shaded. Right, now let me remove this one and click this banded columns, so it will shade all the alternate columns. Right, so these options are mainly used to more easy to read the data. Fine. But now suppose you don't have that stable feature, so what you have to do, again you have to make a index value here, select all even numbers, give a specific color for even numbers, give special color for odd numbers. That is a lengthy process, right? You can complete this process, but again table will make this process more easier to complete. Fine, so use this option banded rows and banded columns. Fine, again a feature of table. Now one more sheet for you. Let me open the third sheet. Now here it is. At the end of the table sales by person, add a row that automatically calculates the total sales value for the month of December. Here it is. So we have some executives names here, some month based information are here, fine, and some real data. Now you have to get the total sales value for the month of December. So any idea how to complete this one now?
Yeah.
Control plus.
Sorry.
Below the column,
Please repeat the question, sir.
we can use the sum as a formula.
Either you can use equal to sum, right? But wait, equal to sum, right? If the requirement is get the average value, so again you have to use equal to average, right? So instead of that, you can use the table feature here. No need to use any equal to sign here. Just select any way in your data set, and in this table style options, here's the feature for you. Total row. Just activate that one. That's all. Here it is. So it will return the total value for the month of December. Now a question will be there in your mind, why only for December? Why? Because the feature is only for total row, last column only, but other values are still active there. For that, now suppose your requirement is for the month of April. Fine. Select that cell value. A drop down will be activated there. Use that drop down and the features are there for you. Right, so that's why we use table for data analysis. Here it is. Now suppose you want to check the maximum value or you want to get the sum value. Here it is. Right, so that means if you want to check the maximum sales value for the month of April, here. No, if you want to apply this formula, use autofill and drag. Right, now this hash means the space is not adequate. So what we can do is the space of the columns there. So select from B to the last M. Come to this format option and go with column autofit. Now it will increase the width of your data. Here it is. Now it will show all the values there.
Sir, we selected anywhere in the table, but it is giving the summation of only the last column.
Last column. And the problem is, yeah.
Why is it so, sir?
Because it's the feature of the table. That means because it will display the value for the last month, but all the values are there. You have to just activate that one only. Right? A drop down will be there. From that drop down, you can select according to your value, or you can use that auto sum or that autofill option and drag the value. Because it's the feature which is defined in table, that it will check the total row, how many rows are there, and the total last column get updated.
Okay, sir.
Fine. Now you can use these drop down to analyze your data according to that drop down functions.
I did not know about this thing earlier itself. Otherwise, it would be a good thing for
Now
me.
I think now it's clear, right, why we are using table.
Exactly.
Right, sir. So that's
All
why
these years I was just using manually.
Equal to sum, or you can have to just calculate that value, right? So
I used to handle thousands of materials at a time.
Now I think this time just try it once, sir, in your data, and
Yes.
your work will be more easier.
Yes.
Fine. Now suppose, okay, now let me show one more process in this table feature. right? So here's some data, right? Now suppose you are going for a presentation, sharing some data with your client, and if you're in a presentation and maybe a human mind is just like that, but it absorbs a graphical content more easier, right? बहुत सारा numbers has, so the customer or the client won't be able to understand what actually the data is. So we have one more feature in table, that is slicer. So come to this option design, and here's the option for you, that is slicer. Just click this option slicer. So it will show all the column headers and the top headers. Here it is. Salesperson's name will be there and all the month values. Fine. Okay. Now the requirement is, suppose the client requirement is I want to display the value for April month. Fine. And for any particular salesperson. So select the salesperson and maybe April month, and for December month, I want to get the values for these specific check options only. So activate your requirements here and click OK. Here it is. Now it's just like a remote control only. Just you can place these slices over here. Fine. Okay. Now select. Now suppose you want to know, the customer would like to know what is the sales value for April Johns for the month of April. So click that only. Here it is. All the values will be highlighted here. Here it is. For the customer or for the client April Johns, the values are highlighted here. For Brett Anna, here it is. So according to the selection here, the values get highlighted here. Now it's easy to understand, right? For the month of April, 37,459 is the total sales value. Now, if you want to deal with multiple customer, so select that value, use the control key and select another customer. Here it is. This time it will show the value for Anna Brett and Brett Anna, and the respective values will be highlighted here. And the same will be reflected in your Excel sheet as well. Here it is. So again, a simple way to deal with. Yeah. Any questions?
Sir, one thing. Multiple salesperson, we need to hold the control key. That's it, right?
That's it. Yeah. Again, for 2 or more values, press the control key and select another list from that option, and it will be highlighted.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir.
Yes, sir.
If I want to see only the 2 months data, that is
Fine.
from now you say that April and December.
Yeah.
Why is it displaying the remaining months on the?
Why? Because I activated slicer for April and December only. This is the Excel sheet only, right? I activated the slicer option for April and December only. So that's why it's showing that only.
No, you have activated the slicer for April and December, but it is showing the remaining Jan to February, March, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. Those are displayed over there. But
in the
where
Excel sheet, in the Excel sheet only, right?
Yes, where you're required to display only April and December.
No, just a minute. That means my requirement is I want to use the slicer to display for the values for the month of April and December. So these are the slicer option only. Rest of the values.
These displays on the slices.
Okay.
Right. Why? Because Why? Because I activated slicer, and in that slicer I activated for that particular month only. So that's why it will reflect in the slicer only. Excel sheet we have to.
Okay.
It will deal with the whole data only. Fine.
Okay.
So you can use this option slicer to display or use some visualization process. We have to come to this point again when we deal with some dashboard creation. It's not in examination how to create a dashboard, but again we'll try to include that one in this session to create some good presentable dashboard, so that the customer or you can easily deal with data presentation. Right? Maybe it comes in the last portion of the session.
We use it even in the pivot table also, no?
That's it. Yeah, pivot table we have slicer and that timeliner also. So we'll deal with that one also. Fine. So clear. So table is an advanced feature, and normally we use this one if you have a common formula to be applied. Right. If you have different formulas, so definitely as our team member suggests, we'll go with VLOOKUP only. Right. So we have to, the options are there. We can customize the requirement. We can go with different formulas. and according to the formula, we can change the presentation of the data. But again, one more limitation for this table is in the option, now it's table, right? In the data tab, here it is, the subtotal, right? So this is another feature where you can organize your data. Again, subtotals won't execute, right? So there is a limitation for this data also. So again, but we will go with that positive side. Why? Because it's more to learn, more to way to handle the data. So that's why table is important, and give importance to table when you deal with data. Fine. Any other question? Again, I recommend we'll come to this point in the next session. I think meanwhile the files will be there with you. I will request the team member to share the files with you. Now, any other question?
Sir, when videos are available with us, then we can practice today's session for tables and all.
Sorry, can't get you.
Sir, when
please send
recorded sessions.
Please send the recorded classes.
Sure. I think yesterday the team member already updated the my recorded session will be updated in that portal, or it will be accessed by all the.
Very useful to.
By Wednesday, I think all that one.
So, sir, the recording links will be shared by email till Wednesday with the user ID and password.
That's it. Yeah, I think that yesterday.
And sir, can you also confirm that how many files are yet to be shared, or how many files are there, or when they shall be shared, till which date?
I think that the file sharing, maybe I request today itself. I think by tomorrow, within 2 days, we'll get that files.
In total, can you please just specify how many Excel files and how many case sharings shall be there, so that we may be confirmed that yes, we have complete.
Fine. Okay. I will do one thing. For session number 1, it consists of 3 main files: introduction, data, and formatting. I think that you received, right? In case files, there are two case files, and in the task folder, there are 7 task folders and 1 CSV file.
Okay.
7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 files will be there in session number 1.
13 attachments we have received, sir.
Yeah. For session number 2, it consists of total number of files will be 11. Sorry, 11 and 12, 13, 15 files will be there.
Sir, they haven't segregated.
Share the session number 2. Only just session number 1 we have.
No, sir, they haven't made the folders. They haven't made the folders for the files. They have just dumped that files in attachments, and some of the files are missing, and we haven't got this file for session 2 also.
You got
Sir, we have received only session 2 files. Session 1, all files has been received.
So I think session 2 is pending, right?
Yeah.
So once again, I will share the files with the team member, and exclusive for session 2. It will be there in the subject, right?
Yes, it will be helpful.
Sir, I have a kind submission, sir, regarding this sharing. Sir, it would be better if you put all these session files in a folder manner in some G drive and share the link among
Exactly.
Download it directly from there.
Yeah.
Yes, please ask them to share the file in a proper order. It's not the proper order actually.
Fine. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. I will go with that valuable feedback and try to implement that one. Thank you for
And
the
by
feedback.
when can we get the recordings, the recorded videos?
Yeah, where should we find the recorded classes?
It will be in the advanced studies app, and there is a advanced Excel option. There is a login, participant login, but it will be going to activate on Wednesday or after.
Okay.
Sir,
Can someone update?
Carry on.
Institute will be going to update this. It is not in our hands.
Sir, I have one more suggestion. That what we are facing a trouble, probably our registered mail ID are not properly registered with the institute, because I never get the mail directly from the institute. It's a very pathetic. So if I type my registered mail ID here, will it be updated? Many of my colleagues also have the same problem.
No, sir, it will not be updated.
Then how to rectify the mistake, sir?
Sir, it should not be rectified, but you can mail to the advanced studies that this is the problem I have got. So if they want to change that, then they can change. Otherwise,
But whenever I will mail it from my original ID, my email ID. But actually, the advanced studies have a very wrong email ID. So
no, you
will
just
they going to recognize me?
no, yeah, you just have to just show the evidence of this receipt and application number. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
They will going to get.
So I will do one thing. Meanwhile,
Radesh, sir.
yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, sir, I got a question pertaining to today's class and yesterday's class combined.
Please,
You were speaking about this group seating and as well as data seat. So now, can you go to any one of the seats, sir, where we have this data, where we converted that into tables and all?
Okay, so for today's session only.
Maybe the sales related context would help me out to ask questions.
Yeah, this one will be okay.
Yeah. So ideally, we got here serial wise the people. I mean, the job, Sarah, Rose, and all. So I got in one seat all the people database here. So if I have to make a seat wise individual database, so I mean, do we have any shortcut here to do that?
Still, the question is not clear. How you want to convert this data?
Yeah, I'll just make it slightly more convenient. I mean, I'll just simplify my question. Now, let us say these are the students and these are their marks.
Okay.
So now, each seat wise, I just want to make individual student's name and their mark sheet. So how that's supposed to be done? Do we have provision here?
Means you require that name should be defined in a separate column, right?
Yeah. Now I got, I mean, whatever a column has, so that should come in a seat wise. Now, Jock, he'll have his own separate seat, and all January, February, March, the tables would come into the specified format in the same seat of individual. Rather, this is a group of seats, what we are having now, group of people seat. So if I have to make individual seat by using this data table, do I have provision in this? I hope I'm clear with my question, sir.
Hello.
Hope I'm clear with my question, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Hope you got my question, or you want me to repeat it?
Yeah, please.
Okay, sir. So ideally, what I was asking is, like it's more of having one seat table database into converting that into individual seats.
Individual means that the question which I'm not yet clear. Means seats means how the data should be presented.
Now I'll put it this way, sir. Now I got Rajesh, Vinod, Kamlesh, and all, and they have their results in Jan, Feb, and all. So they got their listing. Now, if I have to make only Rajesh seat, can I convert from Amaze summary seat to individual Rajesh seat only?
Sir, he just wanted to just extract just particular Rajesh sales and all that to a particular different sheet. Whether it is possible, but it can be used through the builder if you want to just display this Rajesh and all that.
I think what I understand is you want to just display for any particular staff or particular student only, right?
Yeah. I mean, what I want to understand is that now I have around 20 shortlisted candidates. Now I want to roll out offer letter to them. I have prepared in one database sheet where their name and their salaries and all. So now if I have to make individual seats for them, like basic DAs and all, so can I convert from my single table seat to individual seats for each candidate?
Okay, now let me connect that question. Just a minute. Now suppose you have this type of data and your requirement is all that MasterCard should be defined. Suppose this is a data and your MasterCard should be in a single sheet and your American Express detail regarding that should be in separate sheet, right?
Exactly.
Okay, now let me help this question. Let me
I think I lost your screen.
Just a minute. Okay. Fine, it's clear now.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now your requirement is you have to display let me connect with this type of data set. Your requirement is you have to display all the United States in a separate sheet, Canada in separate sheet, right?
Yeah.
Fine. So that means you have to segregate these data according to this country in a separate sheet only. That's your requirement.
Oh, you mean to say, sir? I mean, I have to add or insert each sheet, then I'll just portrait this data to there, right, sir?
No. I think using pivot table we can do that. Let me complete this one for you, sir. Now let me click this insert option and go for pivot table. And let me click OK here. Fine. Now your requirement is all that values should be segregated on the basis of country or any specific column, right? Fine. So you can put this country into this filter option.
Okay, sir.
Right. Okay. Now come to this drop down in the options. Here it is. Show report filter pages. Just activate this one. On the basis of country, click OK, and you will get different values here. Here it is for Canada, Australia, France, Germany. That means all the values will be separated here.
Okay, sir, would you mind to do? Sir, would you mind to do it again, sir? I just skipped the.
Sure. Just a minute. Okay. What I did is I convert. Okay, just a minute. Now, here's your original data set, right? And your requirement is according to the country, you have to segregate all the data in a separate data sheet, or separate sheet has to be mentioned for separate country, right? So what you can do is select anywhere in the data set, come to option insert and apply the option pivot table.
Okay, sir.
Fine, just click that one, right? Now, where you want to get this report in a new worksheet only, so click new sheet. Don't need to change anything and click OK. Fine. So a new sheet get added here. Now, what type of data you require? Okay, let me select category wise sales. So let me put this category in the rows option and the sales value in the values quadrant. Fine. Okay. Now your requirement is country based filtration. So use this country option and put in the filter option.
Okay.
So that means you activated the filter option now. That's all. Your process is over. Now you have to generate the report. For that, come to this analyze option. In this options drop down, select this option, show report filter pages. So whatever you applied in the filter, according to that, separate sheet get generated. Just click this one and click OK. That's all. Here it is.
I got it, sir. I got it, sir. Thank you so much.
Just try it once again, sir. Right. So I think this is what your requirement is.
Appreciate your valued time, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Fine. Okay. Anyhow, we have to come to this point. We have to go with this pivot table move. So we'll discuss this point later, right?
Certainly, sir. Thank you.
Okay. So that's all for now. Yeah.
One last question. Slices are not enabled in MS 2007, sir.
Sorry?
Slices are not enabled in MS 2007, right?
Pivot table, sir. It's there, sir.
No, it's inside. No, sir. Not pivot. Slicer. Option.
Yeah, sir. Slicer is activated, I think, in 2013 only. I think. I'm not sure, but 13, 16, and 19 Slicer will be there. 2007 Slicer is not activated.
Not okay.
So that's all for now. See you next Saturday. Meanwhile, I will share all your concern, your date, your login procedure, the recorded session. These are the common questions you raised. I will share all these questions with the concerned person. and I think they will sort out all your issues. Fine.
No, sir.
So,
Sir, because these all
I
things
have
are very
a
important
small
because
question, sir.
we need some time to practice. So that will be good for us in case if we will get in between Monday to Friday, so we can practice all the activities, sir.
Sure. I will communicate all your concerns with the concerned person so that you'll get all that files in the right.
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 Thank you, sir. Have a great
Thank you,
evening.
sir.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Sir, I have a little question, sir.
Please, sir.
If
Please.
you allow, please. Sir, actually, regarding this table, I want to know whether the what if analysis or the scenario testing options is available. And if it is so, it would be kind enough if you show me some of the examples.
For this data, sir, what in the
Or any
data?
data, sir, in a table format.
So whether your question is whether we're dealing with scenario or goal seek, all these options, this is what your question is?
Right, sir.
So for this exam procedure, what if analysis, pivot tables, and VLOOKUP are not there, but we will try to, the sessions will update it with these features. Pivot tables are there, but for exam process, pivot table is not there.
Okay.
Right. But for this workshop, we'll include pivot tables, VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and this what if analysis.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you.
Thank you. So see you next Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.